see who is with me, right? Who is joined with me and who is in the live with me. So let me know with a quick hi in the chat. Give me a quick hi, a good evening, whatever you want to write in the chat, and let me know. Meanwhile, I'll write down the pieces of news that I want to cover today. So I'll just quickly shift to the top cap and I'll start writing it. The first thing that I'm going to cover is, of course, India's GDP. So India GDP that came out for Q3. Then we'll take a look at the Black Friday sales. So last Friday was Black Friday, and that is, I think, the last Friday of November. So last Friday of November was last week, and because of that, no voice. Okay, people are saying that there is no voice. Good evening, Mohit. Hi. Okay, so I think our team is fixing it right now, the voice issue. Yeah, it is fixed. So I think it is fixed now. If it is fixed, just give me a fixed or audio is okay in the chat. Okay, I think India GDP is not visible, right? So I'll write it a little more down. Just erase all this. Write it a little more down. Yeah. So point number 1 was India's GDP figure that we got. So India GDP Q3, that is Q3. Then were the Black Friday sales, like I was telling. Last Friday was Black Friday. And during Black Friday, there are massive discounts that happen. And one youth celebrity business icon had told that do not go purchase those large screen TVs or those phones and laptops that you want, rather save the money for future. But let's see what actually happened, how the sales turned out to be. Then we'll talk about a talk that was given by Jerome Powell, or I'll just write Powell. He is the chair of, or the chairman of the Fed Reserve, and he talked about something last week which impacted the market in a positive manner, and that impact was something that we could see in the markets as well, so we'll talk about that as well. Then the fourth thing is a surprise, so I'll just write surprise here. It's a very fun thing that I want to share, but of course this could be something that could prove to be a little disastrous for investors in this particular surprise. So we'll talk about the surprise as well. And one final thing that I want to talk about, I think this is what everyone is discussing in the news right now. NIFTY is at all-time high. Yay! NIFTY is back at 18,600, 18,700, and at some point the SGX NIFTY was actually trading at around 19,000. So SGX NIFTY touched 19,000 as well when we were all sleeping during the night. So we'll talk about that in the end. So these are 5 things that I want to cover today. Yeah, audible, fixed, everything is okay, perfect. Good evening, Vijay Raj. Good evening, Mohit. Good evening, Siddharth. Good evening, Samarth. How are you guys doing? How is the market treating you? So let me know if you guys are making profits, losses, whatever it is in the chat. Let's have a conversation there as well. So meanwhile, let's start with the first point, the Indian GDP that has come out for the Q3, that is this quarter. So what is the GDP figure that has come out? Well, it has come out around 6.2%. And this is the exact estimation. Can everyone see this? Is this all right? Yeah, perfect. So this is the exact estimate that was given by the government. This is also almost the exact estimate that was given by the RBI as well. So RBI gives different estimations, government gives different estimations, and this has come exactly according to estimations. Now, you compare this, so I'll get it down here, I'll make this line. You compare 6.2%, which was Q3, to 13.5%, which came in Q2. If you look at quarter on quarter, this is a big decrease, right? It has gone down. Doing great, says Partha. And Partha says, just call writing is being so difficult nowadays. हाँ, वो तो है. Premiums वगैरह नहीं है. Volatility is very low. I can, really relate to what you're saying right now. Vijay is saying, today was good, bro. Nice profit in Eicher Motors. Arre wah. Siddharth says, Shakti Baba rocks. Okay, Shakti Baba rocks as well. I agree with that. Shakti Baba, who is, which is a slang for our RBI governor. So RBI governor had given correct estimates, and according to his estimates, the number has come out exactly what he told. So very good job. So Shakti Baba rocks. I also love that. Perfect. So basically what I was saying was that Q2 mein 13.5% आया था जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट और Q3 में अभी 6.2% आया है. Now this might look like a drastic fall, right? But this has happened because of a particular reason in the economy. There is something in the economy we call the base effect. Yeah. So you must have heard people talking about it, all the experts saying, अरे base effect हो रहा है, इसलिए 13.5% है. Basically, what is base effect is, I'll just explain it to you on the top cam only. GDP पहले था 3 trillion के आसपास, so I'll just write 3T here. Because of COVID, that 3 trillion became something like 2.8 trillion. Now, whatever work we were doing and whatever kind of incomes we had, they were based off of this 3 trillion. So as soon as we started work after COVID, we were actually working on the base of 3 trillion, but it had come down to 2.8 trillion. तो हम 3 trillion पे अगर 6% बना रहे थे, 2.8 trillion पे it showed out to be 13%. And now what has happened in this quarter is that we have reached this 3 million again. Now since we have reached here again, now that effect is gone. So this effect was called the base effect. क्या हो गया कि अपना base ही छोटा हो गया, तो automatically growth numbers were looking very, very good. To better understand this, this is a little complicated, this is a little complex. To better understand this, I'll take simple numbers so that you understand, right? Now, I'll take 100 rupees. Let's say economy was at 100 and we were making 5 rupees on that 100 rupees. So हम 5 रुपया add करते थे. फिर क्या हो गया? कोविड के टाइम 100 became 98 rupees or let's say 97 rupees. But the 5 that we're adding was still 5 only. After COVID, we came out, we were still adding 5. Now on that 100 rupees, this is a 5%. But on the 97 rupees, this has automatically gone more than 5%. This is now looking like 7 or 8%. This is exactly what happened with our economy also. Now the figure has come to be a normalized figure, 6%, 7% is what India normally does. Yeah, ऐसा हो गया because this 97 has become 100 again. We have reached that $3 trillion status again. So that base effect is gone and the economy, GDP, growth figures and everything else seems to be falling back in place. So this is the first thing that I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to let you know this is because of the lower base effect that we have in the market right now. So that was the point number 1. Overall, is this a positive point or is this a negative point? Well, this is a positive point because this is what was estimated. We all saw how estimations are done. We know, people calculate ki future mein itna hoga, all those things. And generally, people calculate with an optimistic view. People say 10% hoga, but it comes down to be 9% or 8%. This time, they have taken a conservative view, RBI has taken a conservative view, and they had given a 6% type of an estimation, and it has come about 6%. So that is a positive point for the market. And that is one of the key reasons why market is able to stabilize around where it is right now. But I'm not saying that इसके वजह से market बहुत ऊपर जाएगा. That is something no one can predict. And again, if someone is predicting that, bhai scam hai, fraud hai, you know all that stuff. So if anyone is trying to predict कि market ऊपर जाएगा, नीचे जाएगा, that prediction is not really possible in the markets. The best of the best can't do that. So don't listen to them. Now let's go to the second point. Now the second point is also very, very positive. The second point are the Black Friday sales that we saw last week around the world. Yes, because it's growing. Okay, perfect. So Black Friday sales हुए last week, and last week we discussed that one person named Mr. Jeff Bezos, and I'm sure you guys know who Jeff Bezos is. Jeff Bezos came out before the Black Friday sales and he told all of us, or he warned all of us, that don't go and buy that big flat screen TV or don't buy that new MacBook, don't buy that new iPhone. Please save your money as savings for the big recession that is about to come. So because of that, we all thought the Black Friday sales might get hampered. Bezos sir correct bol rahe, we should not be buying. But turns out, bilkul ulta hua. This Black Friday sales globally saw over $9 billion worth of purchasing just on that one single day. And that shows that the consumption economy, not just in India, but around the world, is still alive. So again, this is a big positive factor for all of us. This again contributed to the positive sentiments in the market. So Black Friday sales also came out to be very good. Like I said, the figure was around $9 billion worth of purchases on a single day, in a single evening. So that is what happened around the world in Black Friday sales. Now, followed by that, another positive thing that happened in the market, and that was a speech given by Mr. Jerome Powell, who is the Federal Reserve's chairperson, or the chair of Federal Reserve. Yeah. So he came out and he started talking about inflation. He started talking about the Federal Reserve's view on interest rate hikes and all those kinds of things. And he has hinted, or rather he has told blatantly in his speech, that the interest rate hikes might become smaller and smaller from December onwards. There might be another 1 or maybe 2 big interest rate hikes, but after that it might get smaller and smaller. This is because the inflation has come under control for US as well. The inflation looks to be going in a downtrend now. So this came out as a very big positive news. Because of this, the entire world markets rallied the very next day. And this has again contributed to the market being where it is right now. So Jerome Powell sir's speech, you guys can go check that out on YouTube if you are very interested about what he has spoken about, what exactly has he told. Basically, he has given a hint कि interest rates हम ज़्यादा नहीं बढ़ाएंगे. हम interest rates बढ़ाएंगे, but थोड़ा करके. अभी तक they were interest rate, they were increasing it at a pace of 50 basis points. मतलब 0.5%. वो दिखने में 0.5% लगता है, but it is actually a big increase. So they might slow that down. And because of that, the markets are happy. The businesses are happy. The cost of capital will not go up. That means आप borrow करोगे तो interest rate नहीं बढ़ेगा. And that's good for businesses in general, across the world in any country. So this, again, is a positive news that happened. The fourth thing that I want to talk about, which is the surprise, is about beer prices, or generally prices of liquor. I think just today or yesterday, one of the world's biggest beer makers, one of the world's largest beer makers, the makers of Heineken beer, they have announced that they will be hiking, or they will be increasing the prices of beer, the prices of other kind of liquor that they have in their category. So they are going to be increasing these prices, and they have cited reasons such as inflation, increase in the energy cost, that means the crude oil prices, and of course increase in the demand when compared to the supply. So they have given 3 reasons because of which they are going to be increasing prices. Now this is like a chain reaction. When one of the big guys goes ahead and increases the prices, slowly all the small guys will follow. So we are expecting in India that very soon Indian companies might as well increase the prices of beer, increase the prices of liquor, and all those kinds of alcohol related drinks or alcohol related beverages. So alcoholic beverages might be going up in price very soon. So all the people who consume alcohol, this is a bad news. But for the people who are invested in this sector, this could prove out to be a better news. This could prove out to be a good news, because this will get their margins back. Abhi inflation ke wajah se, because of the increase in price of the raw materials, the margins of alcohol companies fell down. They were making a 20% margin, an 18% margin. It has come down to 16% or 14%. But if they increase prices again, well, sales might go down a bit for a while. It would be a temporary effect. But in the long term, this is going to get their margins back. मतलब उनका operating margin, उनका net profit margin वगैरह will come up again. So overall in the long term, this is good for the people investing in the alcohol beverages sector. So that's the point number 4. Now finally, the last point is this. NIFTY is at an all-time high. NIFTY, Sensex, Bank Nifty, take any kind of an index, it's sort of at an all-time high. But I think most of the people will have this question in their head, and I saw some memes as well on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube about this particular thing, निफ्टी ऑल टाइम हाई पे है, बट मेरा पोर्टफोलियो ऊपर नहीं जा रहा है यार, मेरा पोर्टफोलियो ऑल टाइम हाई नहीं टच किया है। तो ऐसा क्या हो रहा है जिसकी वजह से निफ्टी ऑल टाइम हाई पे है बट पोर्टफोलियो ऊपर नहीं जा रहा है? वेल, I'll just explain that to you very quickly on the top cap. So I'll erase this. So I'll tell you something very fun, something very insightful, something very obvious, but people don't really see. So let's come to the top cam. And yeah, so Nifty mein, if you go and check the weightage of how they have allocated companies, almost about 30 to 35% is in financial services. Yeah? And if you check out the companies in financial services, they are the ones who are going up. You know, they are the ones who are smashing their all-time highs. And because of this heavy weightage, well, the index is also moving up. But if you go check out maybe Nifty small cap, so I'll write small and mid. If you check out Nifty small cap and Nifty mid cap, they are still a little far behind their all-time highs. They have not touched their all-time highs yet. They are moving slowly, and they are still away from their high. So this is the reason why you could see कि निफ्टी ऊपर जा रहा है बट पोर्टफोलियो ऊपर नहीं जा रहा है. पोर्टफोलियो में स्टिल ग्रोथ बाकी है टू रीच द ऑल टाइम हाई एज बिफोर. Yeah, major heavyweights are Reliance, HDFC Bank, Infosys, TCS. Yes, agreed. But if you take a look at the sector itself, the major heavyweight sector is the financial services sector, which includes banks, NBFCs, and that sort of companies. And those are the companies that are doing very, very well. And they are doing very, very well because, like we saw last week, the banks have registered an 18% credit growth. The banks registered 18% credit growth in the last quarter. And because of this credit growth मतलब ज़्यादा लोग loans ले रहे हैं. And it's not because of retailers like me and you कि credit growth बढ़ जाता है, हम तो कितना ही loan लेते होंगे. So it is because of industries that the credit growth increases. So if credit growth has gone up by almost 18%, that means industries are taking loans again. Now if industries are taking loan again, it's good for the economy. That is what it is signaling. Because think about it. Why will industries take loans? They will take loans to expand, to set up a new project, to set up a new office, something like that. So because of that, employment will also increase in the future. And because of that, the disposable income of people will also increase in the future. So when this happens, overall, it is very good for the economy. Now, let's pay attention to the 5 points or 5 pieces of news that I have selected. Take a look here. Every single point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, and point number 5. All of these points are actually supporting the market sentiments which are very positive right now. So all of these points together, they are contributing to the market to be a little stable at this particular junction, to break their all-time highs and all those things. So these are all the positive things that are going on around the world. Apart from this, like I said, again, we have tons and tons of things to cover. There is a merger that might happen between Air India and Vistara, both of which are owned by Tata, the Tata Group. So the Tata House or the House of Tatas might think of merging these two airlines. So that is some news that's going on. Then there is news related to the new age companies like Paytm, Policybazaar, Nykaa. There seems to be a lot of good commentary, a lot of good management commentary about the companies. They're talking about how they can get profitable and by when they can get profitable. So all those things are going on. Now, very blatantly, I'm saying, this doesn't mean that you will go invest into those companies. This doesn't mean that they are good investment avenues. It's just a piece of news. So treat it just like a fact, treat it just like a news. It's not any investment recommendation or it's not a buy call for you right now. It's just that good management commentary is happening. So uske wajah se a lot of FII inflow is also happening. Just yesterday, as on Thursday, the FIIs invested almost $1 billion into the country on one single day. They invested more than 9,000 crores. So if you go check out yesterday's FII data was terrific. It was great. So all those things are happening. And all of these things, if you observe, are very positive right now. And these are the signs of, unfortunately, I have to be a little pessimistic at this point, because what we have observed from the experience and from looking at last 15 or 20 years is that whenever the markets get overheated, हाँ, जब भी markets बहुत ऊपर चले जाता है, जब थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही ऊपर चले जाता है, suddenly सब कुछ positive हो जाता है. And that is exactly what is happening right now. So it's actually a time to be very cautious. It's not a time to celebrate. It's not a time to enjoy कि Nifty all time high आ गया. No. This just means that you want to be as cautious as possible, because everything that's happening around suddenly seems to be very, very positive. Just 10 or 15 days back, everything was negative. So you have to keep looking at all these points from a very cautious point of view. This could mean that the markets are already overheated and there is some kind of a fall that needs to happen right now to maintain stability. So all in all, everything is positive. But because everything is positive, you have to remain cautious. So before I leave and you guys get to see the technical analysis and the derivative analysis, you guys have to put something in the chat for me. You guys have to tell me, yes, I will be cautious in the market now. So let me know with I will be cautious in the chat that you will be cautious. You will not take any kind of recommendation or positive trade just because of me. So let me know that in the chat. And meanwhile, I'll just read what you guys have written. Vijay says, bro, what about Zomato? Because it is like a new business idea. Will it sustain in the long run? Well, I don't know if it will sustain in the long run or no. From past data, what I can see right now is that Zomato is not a profitable company. The revenues are Zomato's is growing. You know, Zomato seems like it is a good company that is growing its revenue. But right now, it's not profitable. So I will probably want you to stay away for the short term. But in the long term, well, no one can actually tell what will happen to Zomato. Yeah? It is Zomato's management only जिसको पता है, और कोई ऐसे बता नहीं सकता है कि long term में Zomato will be good or bad. But right now, because it's not profitable, you know, because there is no way for it to profit right now, the losses are very, very big. There is no scope of really investing in such a company right now. You want a company that's profiting, that's increasing its profits, that's growing with profits, all those type of things. So I hope you understand, Vijay Raj. And thank you for writing, I will be cautious in the market. So with this, well, I shall now move over and give away the stage to Sharma sir, Prateek Sharma sir, and he will take you through all the technicals data, derivatives data, everything that a trader really requires, and everything which you are actually waiting for in the live market session, right? So I'll just quickly erase all this and I will call on Sharma sir to join me here. And he will be continuing the technicals and derivatives.
Hi Vasant, thanks a lot for the amazing analysis that you had. Now it's time for some micro analysis of the markets through technicals and derivatives.
Perfect,
Great.
perfect. Solo sir.
So guys, how are you? How are you doing? Nifty hit an all-time high. Yes. But if you ask me, the current scenario, what the derivative data is saying and what the technical data is saying, I would love to say it in Hindi, market phasa hua hai boss. All right. It's in a range, tight range. The derivative and technical data both are saying that it's range bound. All right, not going anywhere. So how was the expiry? Mohit, you were there in the workshop. Great. Good to see you over here. So how was the expiry, Mohit? Anybody of you trades expiries? Partha, Siddharth, do you trade expiries, guys? Vijay, do you trade expiries? Good evening, Vijay. Do you trade it? Well, my expiry was good. It was a spiky expiry, but still ended decently. Today was a bad day for me. All right. So before I move ahead, I'll just show you technically where things lie, and then we'll move to the derivative part. So just I'll share my screen with you. All right. So this is Nifty monthly. I'll go to the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, as you can see over here, that this is a decent zone. This is the decent zone where Nifty is taking support. The low of this zone is 18,200. So like you can say that Nifty won't be bearish till 18,200 holds, but that is very far, guys. All right, let's look at some nearer level. All right, so on daily, if you see this level, this is a nice zone. We studied zone today, right, Mohit? So this is a decent supply zone where Nifty can take support if the correction happens, and the low over here is 18,445. So around 18,400 levels technically. Now I want to get a support from the derivative data as well. All right, that's how you try to form your view of the indices. Okay, so let's go to derivative data and check out what Nifty has in store. So I'll just type Nifty option chain. This is how you can also do it. All right, no big deal. Next time you guys come with your own analysis and try to match my analysis with your analysis, is gonna be real fun. All right, so if we check out the Nifty option chain, this is the weekly chain. Let me zoom in. Number one, the PCR level of weekly Nifty is 0.7. So 0.7 is not a bullish put call ratio, it's a bearish one. Yes, number one. Number two, where is the maximum open interest? If we see 18,700 levels over here, you see the open interest is maximum 1 lakh open interest over here. Change in open interest 18,400. Let's check out on the over here, change in open interest 87,000. So 18,700 levels are very, I mean, both call and put change in OI is maximum on the same level, exactly at the level where the market closed today, where 18,696, exactly at those levels. So if the market breaks the low is 18,639. If it goes below this, then you can expect it to test this level around 18,550 levels. All right, you'll get it, the levels over here. One more thing, I go back to the open interest, and do you see open interest over here? 1,60,000, 1,15,000, 1,77,000. What are these levels? This is 18,800 level. Okay, let me go back 1 second. Okay, so 18,800 levels, 18,900 levels, and what are these? 19,000 levels. Okay, do you see any significant open interest over here on the put side? No. So huge positions are being created on the call side. Call writers are creating huge positions, and these positions are not very far away. I mean 18,800, 18,900, 19,000, these are not very far away positions. This also tells us that the market is not bullish, boss. All right, their call writers are writing the calls. That means it is a little bearish. All right, at least as it says today. Now Monday, if a gap up happens, it can happen, but the data tells you the market is not bullish, it's bearish. Not a great time to go long over here. As Vasant bhai told you, time to be cautious. So derivative data is not very bullish. All right, so even on the technical side, if you see, Nifty did hit an all-time high, sorry, Bank Nifty, but this candle I was watching yesterday, Thursday candle. It's an open is equals to high candle. All right. And open is equals to high candle means there's a strong rejection at this level at the all-time high. So not a great positive sign over here as well. Let's go ahead and check out Bank Nifty open interest data. The Bank Nifty PCR is also around 0.71. So Bank Nifty is also not great. All right. So on Bank Nifty, if we check out, the highest open interest is at 43,000 levels. 43,000 levels over here. Okay. And similar as Nifty on both the sides. So 43,000 levels, market is at 43,103. The low of this is 43,937. So around 42,900 levels or 43,000 levels is a very strong support. If that breaks, you can go short for the week. All right, with your stop losses and everything. It's not a trade, but Bank Nifty will be bearish below this level, 43,000 level, right? This is what the data suggests. And this is about Bank Nifty and Nifty. I hope you got the levels. Let me go and check out on weekly if there is any sort of divergence. Yeah. On weekly, on daily Bank Nifty, there's some kind of divergence also. So technically also it's showing that the momentum is not that strong. All right. Let's see how December pans out, but at least for the week, it's not a very bullish view over here. All right. Market seems to be stuck, and if it breaks the support, then you can expect a down move. I hope it doesn't. All right. Now what about the sectors? Well, currently there is no sector in which you can go ahead and take your positions apart from one sector, which is metals. Now, while I was listening to Vasant Bhai's analysis, Vasant Bhai was saying that industry is borrowing. All right, metals are rallying. You can see it on the charts, and a couple of weeks before, we had already given Nifty metal as our favorite stock, a favorite sector. If you had checked it out, guys, did you check it out? So Nifty metal has rallied from there, and it is the only sector which I see right now, which if you are in it, you can hold it, or you can create new positions if the if the high breaks. All right, very nice sector. All right, this is the only resistance right now. It can go to an all-time high, which can maybe lead Nifty rally. And Vasant Bhai also said that the credit growth is increasing. So the metal sector and the PSU banks are interrelated. All right, when the metal sector performs, the PSU banks also rally. So this is one learning from you. You can take positions in both. Right, you see a nice rally in PSU banks. Over here, this week, it's an inside day candle. So you need this candle to break on the upside over here or the downside over here to have a view on it. Right now it is consolidated, but it is also rallying along with the metal sector as the credit growth has increased, and the charts tell you. Right. Now this is what I had. I won't be looking at world indices right now, nothing significant. The domestic indices are range bound, slightly bearish, absolutely not bullish as of now. So yes, if you are planning to go long, you have to be cautious. Now I'll be looking at some stocks which you suggest. So any stock? Chaitanya, Vijay, Siddharth, Mohit, any stock that you want me to have a look at, I'll be happy to have a look at the stocks that you suggest. Anything? The IT sector has also, jumped nicely from the support which we had discussed. This is the TCS stock. So, nice move, but still it's at resistance, nothing very solid over here. Any stock, guys? No stock? I'll just wait. Okay, no problem. Someone says GMR Infra. Cool. GMR Infra. Great. Any more stock? Any other stock? GMR Infra is over here. GMR Infra has broken this very important level. All right. But is it a very convincing break? No, it's not a very convincing break. Let's put some volumes over here. Okay, not a very significant volume. All right, and you see over here there's a lot of supply, this area. So I would say unless and until this breaks the all-time high, don't create a long position in it, right? Power Grid and NTPC. I used to trade them a lot when I used to trade equity. Power Grid has nothing, absolutely nothing. Actually, Power Grid has given a slightly bearish candle over here, but it seems to be in a very consolidated area. This is a nice support zone, nice resistance where it took resistance. All right, so good pressure over here, selling pressure over here. So Power Grid, I also don't feel, if you want to create up any positions, I don't see any significant thing over here. Plus this area, it has to deal with very solid resistance over here. Do you see this? Very solid resistance, boss. So I would not suggest either a trade or a long accumulation in it. Lex, all right, the last one, and then I shall take a leave. We should take it on NSE, right? Okay, we can see it on BSE also. IEX, right? IEX futures, IEX stock. IEX is a very decent setup, very decent setup. Actually a decent setup. If you see over here, let's check out the monthly on IEX. See, on a monthly chart, this is a very critical level for IEX, and it will always be. I'll mark over here this level. It will always be a very critical level for IEX until and unless it is violated. So IEX is taking a jump from here. It does have a resistance over here. So it will need some solid move to break this zone, and then it can move higher. So you can mark this level over here on IEX, and IEX can show some good moves above this level, or if you want to be very safe, this level. IEX is a solid candidate, and one good reason in IEX, one good thing in IEX is that there is a range contraction over here. All right, this candle is a very nice consolidating candle. So the next week can be a nice expansion in the range, and you can see some solid move in IEX. So this is very interesting. I like this setup. All right, interesting setup. There can be a move, and the move more likely is on the upside in IEX, although a bit of consolidation range over here, but there is a possibility of range expansion, and you can go ahead and accumulate it with your risk management and your position sizing and everything in place. Not a recommendation, guys. All right, it's just my view. It's a interesting case. Range expansion at a support, that's what you look for. All right, Asian Paints, just last one, and Asian Paint तो ऊपर चढ़ा होगा और कुछ होगा नहीं उसमें अभी, but I'll see. Okay, no. Asian Paint is also stuck, guys. These are all, I mean, you see the market is, I told you, फंसा हुआ. So most of the stocks are just going sideways. IEX was nice range consolidation. Otherwise, Asian Paints is also stuck, going nowhere. We need a move in the indices. All right, like indices are stuck. Most of the sectors are stuck. Stocks are range bound right now. All right, so let's see. And the view on the indices is slightly bearish. All right, neither the derivatives nor the technicals are suggesting anything bullish, although the market doesn't care, and market will always do its own dance. But still, right now, don't be bullish on the markets. All right. So this is all I had, guys. It is always a pleasure to share the analysis with you. I always love it. Thanks a lot. I hope you know the Bank Nifty and Nifty levels now, and you know how to proceed. All right, guys. It's a wrap. See you next Friday with another market mood next week.